I like it. Can you guys see and hear me? To clean you a little bit. That's better. Okay, so welcome to this stream where we're gonna be playing way too many notes, and I'm sure you already noticed it, but let's go some more and see if we can get some people in here. Too many notes, but I'm in C minor. So if you guys want to tune in, you can play your trusty pentatonic box here on the 8th fret. And I just noticed my hair needs fixing. That's even more important than shredding. You gotta fix the hair. So I'm just playing over one of my favorite metal backing tracks here, and just can't get enough of it. I've been playing since, well, for like, I don't know, 6-7 hours today. Just can't stop. Have to be a little bit careful though, not to injure yourself, but other than that, just keep going. Cool. Hey there. What's up? Can't pronounce your name, but you're very welcome. I'm not gonna try to butcher it. You know, I'll be using all the stuff I'm showing you in my short vids. You know, the hybrid legato stuff, the bouncy technique, and then, you know, all the shred stuff, the tune-up history. We can speak about all of that. Just give me a shout and we'll focus on whatever you think is cool. Why you cover your left forearm? Do you have really awesome tattoo? You know what it is? My muscles are so big, it tends to distract from my playing. So I've noticed that if I don't hide my muscle, everybody starts speaking about my body instead of my guitar playing. So that's the reason. Sorry. Just kidding, of course. No, it's really about, I don't know, it helps me stay a bit more relaxed. So a bit less strain, basically. It helps me play better, especially the shreddy stuff. You know, I warm up, and once I'm warmed up, this helps me stay warmed up. Even if I take a little break and speak to you guys, you know, this thing is useful. And Alpha Bro, of course. So are levels okay? Can you hear both, you know, me speaking and playing on the backing track? Cool, you like my arpeggios, awesome. So here's something I showed you in one of the recent videos, short vids, where I basically play a standard arpeggio, but then I add that chromatic stuff. So if you want to play that, you have a great example. Just go back to one of my last short videos. So you sweep like this. Standard like C minor sweep arpeggio. Once you reach the top, you start doing this, chromatic thing where you play on every fret. And you have a great example, again, tabbed for you if you check my recent short video. So I love that kind of stuff. I love kind of weaving in the strong sounding arpeggios with the crazy sounding outside notes and chromatic stuff. Gabriel, what's up, my man? Much love from Brazil. I wanted to speak Spanish to you, but you guys speak Portuguese, I think. So yeah, como está? You still understand what that means, right? I will practice today. Awesome. Go for it, man. Check it out. Check my recent short video, and you're gonna find a cool example of mixing chromatics with sweep arpeggios. Really good. Thanks so much, man. Can't wait to hear about the bounce. Oh yeah, we have to do some bouncing. And I messed up. You still end that on an arpeggio, right? So we can end that on the chromatic arpeggio. Let's try that. So I start with some bounce. I messed up one more time. That's bad. Okay, so what is that bounce technique? It's just a way to describe a type of phrasing that is fast, groovy, staccato, and legato. So none of these things are very original, but when you put them together, you get a very special technique. And of course, I use hybrid legato to play that, one of my all-time favorite techniques. Anonis Moose, I hope you're out there using the bad mother finger. I think it's there. It's the bad mother finger. So actually I use the bad mother finger a whole lot more on the right hand for this lick. So if you check it out, the bad mother finger is there all the time. But the bouncy technique is really about, if I slow it down, you get this kind of thing. It doesn't sound that special, but when we speed it up, it gets super interesting to me. And of course, when you start like combining stuff, that's when it gets really interesting. On its own, it's more of like a party trick. But when you weave that together with, for example, the arpeggios we just spoke about, you get to actually start creating something resembling music. Let's try it. I don't know. Let's try one more time. No. It's crazy. The double mother finger, that's right. So sometimes I actually do use two fingers here for hybrid picking. That's suspicious as well, if you ask me. But anyhow, you get this. So hybrid picking, I do it with pick and one finger, but sometimes pick and two fingers at the same time. And even more often, I use two fingers, but not at the same time. So look, if you look at my right hand now, you're gonna see. I do that a lot, so this. Very handy. Gonna have to break out the headband and bring back your old Ultimate Guitar character. That's Mr. Guitar Tube. He might be back one day. Some I've seen him on the GMC forum as well. He's just lurking around. He's a crazy character. Let's keep him alive. So let's try a little bit more of the bouncing technique, but in context. And actually, I use it more often for when going fusion, like funky and that kind of thing. This is more of a metal ballad, but it still works. I like to bounce at any time. pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think the reason the bouncy stuff sounds fluid is because you have a contrast between super staccato, so it's like tick tick, and then comes the legato, so it's like tick 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 tick. If you listen to it, it's like. So tick 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 tick, and if you isolated one of those on its own, it's not that fantastic. I mean, tick tick is just staccato, right? So. And the legato stuff is just so it's a combination, I think, that really makes it pop and stand out. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's a lot of time. That's how I use it, just to throw in that that touch of spice, like a more interesting rhythm, but preferably in combination with some kind of melodic. And it's just, it's really always that kind of contrast I'm looking for between melodic and fast, between groovy and more straight, between sustain and choppy. That's what I think creates interesting lines and stuff you'd want to listen to and not only look at. Oh, Sails of Charon by the Scorpion. Cool. Okay, cool. I have to check it out. Probably heard it, but I don't know the songs by name. Is it Ulion Roth? Is it during his stay in Scorpions? Cool, whammy bar. Yeah, we can do some whammy bar as well. Would you like me to make a switch and maybe try the RG? Let me just see here. We can do that. I think I have, hopefully it's in tune. Just a quick tuning. Sorry about that. That's a downside of spontaneous guitar switches. So you were working on whammy bar techniques. Oh, Jeff Beck, yeah, he does that really well. Yeah. And you have to. It's more of a Steve Vai thing, maybe. Sounds almost as in tune as this. So I can't really do the Jeff Beck thing. I mean, he's awesome at that. Something like that, maybe? You have to make some funny faces. He was awesome at that. May he rest in peace. I have to go back to some hybrid legato. I think Jeff Beck, in a way, he did a lot of that. I mean, he played with his fingers. I don't know if he had used a pick at all. Thanks so much, man. The Doge Father, thanks so much. So one of the things that's really key for me when I'm doing the whammy bar thing is to be able to play hammer-ons from nowhere. So a lot of times when I use a whammy bar, I don't pick, because if I pick, it's hard to keep an even tension on the bar. So I'm just muting the unwanted strings with my right hand and controlling the bar. With the left hand, I'm producing the notes. So something like this. So I'm not using any picking. Okay, a little bit of picking, but if I'm doing something that's a bit more complicated whammy bar wise, then I just skip the picking so I can totally focus on doing the whammy bar thing. And that requires a little bit of practicing, but if you watched any of my courses and stuff like that, I really recommend practicing with the left hand only for a lot of different things. Not only this, anything where I want precision and tone, I will practice with the left hand as well. And it comes in really handy. For that kind of stuff. But also one thing that's really cool with whammy bar is how you can kind of keep steady vibrato. Typically you would play a note and then add the vibrato. But with the whammy bar, you can sort of have the vibrato going while phrasing. So something like this. And this way it sounds more like a tremolo or something you would hear like in a corn song or something. So if I mix that up with some Steve Vai-ish kind of pre-bends or pre-pushes, pre-dives, so that's when you press the bar and then produce a note with hammer-ons from nowhere. So right? Now if I do both that and that kind of constant vibrato, gets very interesting, if you ask me at least. So you could do. Cool. So I'm really glad you dig this. If you want to try it out, be sure to practice them separately. So first you will practice hammer-ons from nowhere. Just produce sound with the left hand without getting too much noise. And then practice pre-pushing the bar. That's the Steve Vai approach. And finally I would do this kind of, we just keep it constant. When you combine it, someone has to stop me. There we go. So, Anoni's Moose, you never noticed what? The hammer-ons from nowhere part? Does picking create excess tension? Not really excess tension, but try pressing the bar like this and then pick a note. What's gonna happen is you're gonna have to release the bar, so you can't be in total control of the whammy bar if you wanna do any kind of picking at the same time. If you want the effect of releasing the whammy bar between each note, then you can also pick. But if you want like, then I can't do any picking, you know. It's like maybe someone else can, but for me it doesn't work. Yeah, hammer-ons and whammy, exactly, that combination. It just allows you to be really free with your whammy work. My whammy work, sorry. It allows you to be really free with what you're doing with the right hand. And basically you're just splitting things up. So this one handles the melody, this one handles the whammy bar effect. It's just so much easier than if this one is gonna both pick and handle the whammy bar. So a lot of picking going on there, but I wasn't, again, I was releasing the whammy bar each time. So it's not a necessity, but it helps for what I do. Yeah, exactly. The physical tension on the bar is more consistent. It's just hard to do two things at the same time. It's a bit like, you know, standing on one foot while, I don't know, you tell me, standing on one foot when throwing the guitar in the air or something, I don't know. No, the Doge Father, we never derail lessons here. I mean, the whole point here is to be spontaneous, and that's what's so cool. Because whenever I'm pre-recording something, it's just me talking and, you know, no one else gets to say anything. And the cool part here is that we can be spontaneous, and a lot of times I find myself covering stuff that I would never think about, you know, in a pre-recorded video. And in fact, many cool ideas for pre-recorded videos have come just from me, you know, speaking to you guys. So just keep interrupting me. I love it. Speaking of which, I have started to do a little bit of like longer YouTube videos. I don't know if you've seen those. I've uploaded them like 3. I think I did 3 last week. And I want to do more of them. So if you have any feedback for me, or any requests, feel free to shoot, because I'm going to be recording more. Okay, should I switch back to the other guitar perhaps? Oh, I did this just to catch the whammy bar. There was no whammy bar there. Well, we can maybe find another backing track. Cool, we got MLV Gaming here. It's been a long time. Still jam out your ultimate guitar theme from the Kirk Hammett lesson. Yeah, awesome. So, is it that one? I think that was my wannabe Metallica riff, which I kind of used to show some Kirk Hammett licks, something. Let's see. I think this is a cool neo soul backing track. But I think MLV Gaming, you used to hang around a lot when I did live streams on the GMC Guitar channel, if I'm not mistaken. So very cool to see you again. You have the bounce. And there you have the arpeggios. Some more bounce. So a lot of fun there. This is more of a, I don't know, maybe more modern backing track, but I'm going between C minor and then there's a little bit of E flat minor. So there's a modulation happening here. And that might be a little bit confusing to the ear. So I could just play it again and you can hear when it happens. The trick is really to have that modulation not be too obvious. So you want to try to the extent possible. And I'm kind of crappy at this. Jazz guitarists are really good at that. But try to the extent possible, have it sound like you're just continuing your melody, but quickly readapting to the modulation. So let's try it. Okay, E flat. Back to C minor. Okay, soon E flat minor again. I don't know if you can hear I'm going between two different keys there. Yes, thanks. Bring up the backing track for sure. Try one more time. Oh, I'm going to start again. A bit louder, the backing track now. C minor. back to C minor. I'm gonna keep doing a little nod for you guys so you can hear where the modulation happens. Okay. Back to C minor. Now, when I messed up, still E flat minor now, soon back to C minor. So the thing is, this modulation, it's a very classic thing to do. You know, you have your minor chord, and then you move up to, typically you would move up to the relative major, and you would stay in the same key. So going from C minor to E flat major, that would be your average pop song thing. But here we're going from C minor to E flat minor, which is a clear indication we're moving to a different key. And so you can't just continue playing and pretend like nothing, which I like to do as well. So you have to follow here and just totally adapt, going from C minor to E flat, back to C minor. Of course, you don't have to play fast, you can play slowly, but I don't know if you can hear that. There's a clear, I could do this. And it would be more obvious to the ear that I'm moving between two different keys, and to the eyes. But here, I try to stay in one position and still change tonality. Chris, where are your donations and membership options on YouTube? Sorry, Gabby, I don't have any. So if you want to support my work, you have a link. It's like a Linktree link, similar on my profile. You can go there. I have lots of courses and stuff like that. So it'd be an honor if you want to check it out. Thanks so much, by the way. But let's try one more time. So if I'm in C minor here, and I switch to E flat minor. Let's check it one more time in context and see if you can hear when it happens. Back to C minor. Back to C minor. I messed up a little bit, but that's the general idea right there. I don't know the solo to Highway Star. I think that's Deep Purple, right? Blackmore. I've never learned or listened to any of his stuff. I should probably do it. Everybody speaks about that live. Is it live in Japan or something? So I have that on my to-do list. I just haven't gotten to it yet. You're too kind, Gaby. I'm not sure you're correct about that, but it means a lot to hear from you, man. You're way too kind, man. Top 3 on YouTube, man. You make me want to cry. That's so nice of you to say. My heart beats for you. I have to dedicate a lick to Gabby just for saying the nice stuff. So, what kind of lick do you want? We're coming up with the Gabby lick now. Maybe something sweeping where we go from like 2-string to 3-string to 4-string and then 5-string. So I have to practice it. That was hard. Let's skip the 4-string stuff. that's officially the Gabby Lake now. Thank you, Gabby. Yeah, I mean, I've had those kind of ups and downs in YouTube presence and online presence, but I've always been very active working on my own skills and also teaching. But I had a few years where all my focus was on the GMC website, and that's kind of where I disappeared from the normal social media channels. But I'm hoping you're gonna notice the resurgence lots of places because yeah, it's YouTube is treating me a bit more nicely now, but typically it's been always been Facebook and Instagram and even TikTok. It's been nicer, but now I'm seeing some activity on YouTube, which is awesome, which is why I can do this with you. So hoping to do more of this. You are the most underrated guitarist on YouTube, bro. You're too kind, man. This like kind of reminds me of the sweep picking bit where the dude was in bed having nightmares about sweep picking, dreaming of Chris. Yeah, he wetted his bed. I remember that. You bring so much value, man. You're too kind, man. Way too kind. You are like the older brother of guitar to millions of us. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I did reach out to quite a few people, in the early YouTube or even like pre-YouTube. I mean, that's the reason why the video, I uploaded this. I think it was called "Steal This Video" or actually the Shred Masterclass on ultimateguitar.com, and that was kind of big because video wasn't even available. It was right before YouTube, or YouTube existed but no one knew about it. Yeah, that was early on, and that reached a big audience because you couldn't get just find a guitar video was hard. You'd maybe on Pirate Bay or something, but so yeah. Even pre-YouTube, exactly. Music is win, yeah, but he has cool content, and I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. I mean, obviously, being away the way I've been is not good for business. I have to accept that. But I mean, he's been going with uploading all the time, so I guess he's been rewarded, rightfully so. Basically, Chris, dude, I see so many who have too much exposure and have a talent. It's all about that stick on mustache. I like it. There's so many things. Yeah, curious coincidence. That was a cool example solo. I use that to teach a lot of different shredding techniques. We still love you. Awesome, Doge Father. Means the world, man. I should probably find a new backing track because I'm getting really shy now. Let's see. Soft rock. I think we have one here in D minor, in case you want to tune in. Yeah, that's a cool request, actually. An updated Curious Coincidence. Would I just play the same solo again? I think I could improve the vibrato probably, but other than that, it's pretty much, I think it was a pretty cool solo, but I'm not happy with the vibrato, but the rest of it, pretty nice. Maybe a bit better precision with picking. Or would I try to do something more extreme? Like, I don't know. Yeah, the ultra advanced remix, maybe. The problem is, back in the days, I used to write solos. But these days, I can't stand writing solos. I don't know what it is. I always improvise. So I'm afraid that if I try Curious Coincidence, I would just mess up with a really crappy improvisation. But I guess maybe that's the way I should go about it. Maybe just relearn the solo, because I've forgotten it now, and then try to jam around it. That could maybe be interesting. Play it exactly the same because it worked. And it's like changing something, or yeah, bring it all back. Everything you did. Cool, yeah, so I guess I could see if if I... Danny. I know the two first note. Ooh, another lick. Yeah, I could probably... Oh, that's the tricky one. That's the tricky lick, right? Is that one? Exactly. I look back and I can't even play this stuff anymore. But I like that arpeggio lead. Oh, that's where it is. Oh, so that's a pretty cool lick right there. It's a bit more like phrased the way a keyboardist would do it, I think. There we have it. That's the lick, right? Should I plug into a wah-wah pedal and see if I can do that? I just have to find my stuff here. Okay, sorry about that noise. So that's a wah pedal. So yeah, that's nice. Does that even sound like Curious Coincidence? I'm gonna have to practice it. So did I ever like music heavier than Metallica? Yeah, sure. I mean, I have a bit of a problem with growling, right? I like melodies, but so to me, the heavier brother to Metallica was always Paradise Lost. I know they're not at all as famous, but I listen to like melodic death metal. I like heavier stuff like Testament. They did a few albums where they really were in borderline between like James Hetfield style barking and more of that growling kind of approach. So I like that Testament Gathering is probably where my limit lies. If it's less melodic than that, it's just too much for me. And also like In Flame stuff, like melodic death metal, it's pretty nice. It's not like I can't listen to it all day long, but I can definitely dig it. So yeah, Pantera, heavier, I guess. Oh, that's an interesting question by Kendo. When you're improvising a solo, are there parts that become signature to the solo that you can then improvise around, or is it always improvisation all the way? So in an ideal world, you would definitely have a theme in an improvisation. So in fact, if you don't have it, it's going to be more of like a shred demonstration. So it's always better to have a recurring theme, because then it's going to sound like music and not just like you're showing your licks or whatever. So let's try that. Let's see here. My computer wants to cooperate. I think it might have just died. Yeah, it died. Damn it. So let me just. So I have this duet by Apogee, and it's a good sounding interface, but it's not the most stable one, and I'm not alone in saying that. I don't know why they can't fix it, but that's how it is. It crashes all the time. Yeah, I don't have any sound coming out now because the audio interface is dead. So I have to constantly pull the USB cable in and out. Very exciting stuff. And yeah, come on now. So if this doesn't work, I'll just... Oh, there we go. Thank you. So, D minor. So this is my attempt at demonstrating why you need a theme, right? So we're in D minor, the 10th fret, D minor pentatonic. So already that is a melody, right? You can think of what you want of the quality of that melody, but it's still a melody that could be repeated. And there, like a little, I changed the ending of it. And there I changed the rhythm but kept the notes, but it's still a recurring theme. So if I can return to that theme, even, you know, with some shredding, it's gonna make more sense to the listener. So I'm not saying that there are rules, but yeah, there are rules. But you're doing yourself, it's like such a strong tool in constructing a solo. So it's a bit like saying, yeah, I'm gonna build my house, but I'll just skip the hammer for unknown reasons, you know? So yeah, you should have a recurring theme. That's gonna help you. Even if you just wanna shred, at least come up with one recurring theme and keep returning to it. You know, throw in all your favorite licks, play your melody, shred some more. Even if you do that without taste, it's still gonna sound better than if you skip the recurring theme. So ideally, you would have parts, yes, that become signature to the solo. That's kind of your goal. But then it's easy to fail, obviously, when you're improvising. But if you want to prepare yourself, you know, sometimes I'm totally spontaneous and just take requests. I haven't done it recently because I'm so afraid of the algorithm shooting me down with some copyright thing. But I used to do them and I would be spontaneous, and then on the fly, I knew that if I came up with a melody before shredding, the whole thing would make sense musically. But if I couldn't come up with a melody and just shredded, you know, people wouldn't like it. So good question there. Bubbly, love from India. Love back from Sweden, thank you. Yeah, I would love to teach dancing. That would be hilarious. Yes, this is an LTD. MH1000. Very cool guitar. Like it a lot. Bare knuckle, the Mule. So I swapped pickups. Yeah. You're trying to recreate old me. Can't do that. That's impossible. I'm the new me. I never listened much to Opeth, actually. So just to keep spinning on that question, because it's a really good one. Well, it's one that I like, at least. I like speaking about it. But if you have your recurring theme, what's even better, of course, is if you can connect different recurring themes. If you do that a lot, then we're gonna have to introduce a new concept, which is called a song. It actually becomes a song. If you have a backing track, you have different recurring themes, then it's a song, right? You can shred in between. But even guitarists, even if we don't want to admit it, we still like songs. And that's why we like, you know, Yngwie's Black Star so much, because there's both shredding and a strong song. That's like why we like Cliffs of Dover, because there's such a strong chorus melody. So if you can try to recreate a song with recurring themes when jamming, that's going to be a winner, basically. Everything died. I think I have some glitchy connection here. Yeah, I'm gonna remove that wah-wah pedal. It seems I wasn't ready for wah-wah yet. You know, I only use it once every month, and now there's a glitch somewhere, and I really don't want to do the troubleshooting with you guys, so. Beat it. Sorry, don't know it. Yeah, I mean, exactly, Doge. Dave Gilmour has just amazing lines. So, cage system, I think I never did the cage system the traditional way. I did it like backwards. I do everything backwards. So I started visualizing the fretboard just by going through root notes. It wasn't until I got an advanced that I started seeing chord shapes in the scales. The cage system is all about starting with different chord shapes. So the C, the A, the G, the E, and the D shape, and seeing notes around it. I never did that, When jamming over this, I see the D minor scale, and I learned that by memorizing the different shapes in connection with the root notes, okay? That's important. So I would play the D minor scale, and after a long time, I would start to see these shapes within. So here are different arpeggio shapes within the D minor scale. And there, for example, I did play like a C major shape. So you could say it's caged, but it's, as I said, it's totally backwards. So here's the C shape, right? Or here it is. So I would play it with sweeping. And likewise, I guess you can find other shapes. Here's your D minor shape. I mean, that's a D minor, right? But to me, I add a chord in my scale, where I think a lot of people use the cage method to add scales around their chords, if that makes sense. Yeah, I know it goes over your head because theory stuff is a little tricky to explain, I think, in the middle of a live. Or maybe it's just me that's crap. Cool, Justice, you have the same guitar in your hand. Ooh, rocking a white Strat, sounds awesome. Oh, nice, I haven't seen that Gary Morlick or video. I would like to see that. He's also an exceptional player, I think. But so I think you can find better teachers for the cage system, obviously. What I like to do is think of diatonic arpeggios. And it's nothing I'm going to be able to explain, from scratch here in the live stream. But in theory, what it's about seeing different arpeggio shapes that fit inside your scale. And the good thing is, I only need to learn one arpeggio shape, like the C major or the C major one. And then I can move that around within the key of D minor, which is the current key. And just going between one minor shape and one major shape. The other option is to learn like 3 or 4 different arpeggio shapes, like which is the traditional way. That's hard. That's really hard. It's much easier to find your favorite 5-note arpeggio shape and move that around within the key. You like this concept? I do have whole courses on it, so you know, to really show you note for note what's happening here. But the essence here is you can reuse a simple shape and move it around within the current key, and that's useful because you don't have to learn as many shapes. Learning new arpeggio shapes takes years, so it's much better to make use of the ones you have. So that's, even though it might look crazy difficult, it's much easier than learning, like I said, these traditional arpeggio shapes. You know, I can't even play that up to tempo. That's how it is. Cool, guys. I'm really excited to see so many of you here. I hadn't expected to see so many, you know, good people here and be able to speak about the good old times. Very positively surprised. And you guys said so many sweet things about me. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm just gonna have to keep uploading like a madman. Ooh, and there's another one, Matthias. Thank you. Now you're a busker. That's awesome, man. So where are you busking? Which country? I could never busk. I'm too crappy for that. But I could jam with you when you're busking. That would be fun. That's a good example of how boring it sounds when you don't have a theme and you just shred. It's always better to start with before you do your... Generally, when I'm getting a bit tired, my fingers take control and my brain does less and less. So, you know, it's a bit of a cliche to say that it's harder to play a melody than to play fast. But in many ways, that's true. Playing a melody, really, you have to be focused. Shredding, it does require a lot of practice time, but you can do it in your sleep once you master it. You know, it's just a muscle memory thing. That's why it's possible to, you know, play something that looks fancy while you're speaking, because it's all ingrained in the muscle memory. But as soon as I stop shredding, I have to think about what I'm doing, so I can't speak anymore. And that's interesting, I think. Polyphia, really good stuff. Tried learning a riff once from them and I couldn't do it. So they must be really good. I'm just kidding, but very original stuff, like it a lot. Just a nice combination of crazy technique and, you know, very melodic, but also innovative guitar techniques. So if you add melody, you add a modern production, you add modern guitar techniques such as, you know, unexpected rhythmic stuff and harmonics and that kind of thing, then you know, you get a very cool mix, which is what they're doing. So here are some new things I've been working on that are new to me. This is one of them. I like that. So kind of hammer-ons meets, what would that be? Like natural harmonic, or is it an artificial one? I'm not sure. It's a thumb harmonic. Let's call it thumb harmonic. I'm also working on using my tapping better in my improvs. So if you guys been around since I started out on the internet, you probably haven't seen me do this because this is pretty new. Of course, you know, I used to teach everybody that kind of Kirk Hammett, Van Halen style lick, but never the two-handed, kind of more Greg Howe inspired. So yeah, that's something I'm working on. It's a lot of fun. You have to keep challenging yourself so you don't just, you know, do the same old thing all the time. A riff, There, I just improvised a riff. Or is that even a riff? Sorry, I don't know Eruption. I don't know anything you'd ask me for. I'm really crap at playing other people's stuff. And I'm sorry about it. I wish I could do it, but that's hard. You have to spend a lot of time learning other people's stuff. And I instead invested my time in trying to be inspired without learning other people's stuff. Now that's a little bit harder, but it has the huge reward of gradually building, you know, a somewhat unique style of your own. If you can keep on being inspired, keep on practicing and playing, but without borrowing or stealing too much from other people, then you're going to have to, you know, get that those playing ideas from somewhere, and you're going to start looking from within. That's what I've been doing. So I can't, you know, I've been playing riffs, but not anybody else's riffs, at least not for like 15 years. There you go. That's not anybody else's riff either. I'm sure it reminds you of other people's riff, but... Oh, there's someone else's riff. Recognize that? I don't know. Does anybody know the name of this one? The band starts with an M. So yeah, this stuff is fun. Oh, and while we're at it, here's one more thing. Sorry, I'm getting really ego-focused now, but still, since some of you guys know me since before, I've started practicing 6-string arpeggios. That's also new to me. I've never been really good at that. I always did it in a more melodic setting context, where I would do hybrid legato. So that's nice, but it's not the fast. It's not your like 6-string thing. Jason Becker or something. But because I'm still working on it, I'm also crap at it. So I'm gonna have to work some more on it. My favorite band. I have so many bands I've listened to throughout the years. You know, I started out with, you know, in my generation, not very original, Metallica, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses. Still love that stuff. And then I went through the whole journey of, you know, lots of different metal bands, some grunge bands, but you know, I like Paradise Lost. But I also just started to realize more and more that if the song is good, I don't really care what the genre is. So these days, believe it or not, but I'm listening to the playlist of my kids, and and they have all this new music. Can't remember the name, but your mix of Taylor Swift. What's the other one? Sia. I don't know. There's one song called Prada, really nice one. I have no idea what the artists are called. It's just my brain is too old to remember their names. And as far as metal goes, I've listened to quite a bit of this German power metal band, Powerwolf. Pretty cool band. I like them. Lots of good songs. Actually, I discovered, like 30 years after everybody else, I discovered how cool Tool is. And I've listened to actually Maynard, however you pronounce his name, his other project as well, like A Perfect Circle, and he has this band called Puscifer. Really good stuff. All of them really good. Good songs. Just as cool as Tool, I think, but different styles, basically. So that would be like my most recent rock and metal discovery. Progressive. Well, I listen to Dream Theater. I listen to like Nightwish quite a bit. I like Nightwish a lot. That kind of progressive stuff, but not too much. I never really liked music that relied too much on the technique. I liked listening to some cool solos, but I always think that a song should be a song, and you can never really let technique get too much in the way for songwriting. And that tends to happen a little bit with prog music. Not always. I mean, there are some fantastic, Dream Theater stuff out there. But it's hard. You're always walking that kind of borderline between a good song and just making this crazy, cool shred stuff. So, yeah. What's this? There's a song, a riff I learned. I think that's a Petrucci Liquid Tension. That's what that is. Cool, guys. So I think my brain is too slow for keeping the pace now, but it was awesome to meet so many of you old timers here, and really inspiring to keep me doing these some more on YouTube. So right now I'm thinking the best plan I think I can come up with is probably to start doing live streams more regularly on weekends. I think that makes sense. I did one today on Facebook, and I might do, after some rest and playing, I might do one on Instagram as well. And that's just the way it is now. For some reason, well, my audiences are split on these different platforms, so it makes sense to do these live streams there. But if you go to my profile page, you can see click the link there. You have all my social media links, so you can catch the next one as well. Ooh, cool. Steve Vai and King Crimson. I didn't know that. Ooh, your wife. Tell your wife hello from me. I can't wait to hear yeah, it's going to be interesting to hear that Steve Vai thing. Cool, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you want more concise examples of all the things I've spoken about here, you obviously have them in my recent short videos. All the things we're speaking about, the bounce technique, the chromatic stuff, the arpeggio stuff, all that, you're going to find it, many examples in my short videos. So be sure to check those out, because there you have the tab on screen. So it's going to be easier to learn exact licks and extract licks from me. It's going to be easier via those short licks than it is here, obviously. But we don't get to hang out the same way, so live streams, it's a whole different animal. But yes, tell her hello back from me. Awesome. So thanks so much for tuning in. It's been amazing seeing you guys, and I hope to see you soon again. See ya. Cheers.